Hello, everyone. I am Matthew Thomas. This is Super Cool Radio coming at you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm here at the Melody Inn. I got two really great guests joining me at this time. They are two members of a badass punk rock band from right here in Indianapolis. Please welcome Russ and Chris of the Bombcats.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello, everybody.
Nice to have you guys on the show. I know we met the day before Easter at the Well Basement. A very fun show. It was my first time being there. I think the first time for you guys.
Yep, first time there. First time playing in South Bend.
And not only was it a very fun show, you guys learned how big a Bruno's pizza is.
Yes, we did.
Yes, that is correct.
Somewhat accidentally.
Miscalculated the pizza.
The pizzas are definitely bigger in South Bend.
That's right.
All right, so before we jump into talking about all things Bombcats, I did want to ask you guys, so you guys have been playing a lot of killer shows lately. Who are some bands that you've performed with that people should check out?
Oh, that's a great question. We're friends with and we're big fans of band The Remote Controls. They're also from Indianapolis. Those guys are really good. We played with The Distractions in South Bend, and they were great. No, not The Descendants. Who do you like, Chris?
Another one that we've gigged quite a bit with is Mr. Clit and the Pink Cigarettes.
Yeah, they're good.
They're local, but they're really fun, really good band to gig with. Huxley is another band that we've gigged several times with. We're big fans with them. I Got Worms band. That's another one.
And they're also two of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life.
Yeah, we love them. Love them.
Oh, right on, you guys. Bunch of great bands, from Indianapolis and from other areas as well. Distractions, kick-ass band that I'm a huge fan of, local to South Bend. But you guys named a lot of great bands. I did want to talk about you guys. Obviously, as I said, you guys got some great shows coming up, and you guys have played a bunch of great shows. Now, there's one in particular I did want to talk about coming up on July 8th. You guys are going to be in Chicago with Poison Boys and former guests of the podcast, The Evictions.
Yeah.
How does it feel to perform in Chicago? Have you performed in Chicago before?
Once. Chris is actually from Chicago.
That is true.
So we're really stoked just to play there because it's been a few years. Was it 2017 last time we played there?
Pretty sure that was it. Yes.
Yeah, and we played at a place. It wasn't really a venue. It was in a brewery, and it was kind of a.
So it was a one-off event.
Yeah, it was a benefit for one of Chris's buddies from back in the day. So we're super excited about it. We got two awesome bands playing with us, and it happened just totally randomly. I was at the Cubby Bear during the holidays, talking to the bartender. And I asked what kind of shows they had there. And she said, well, we do all kinds of shows. And I just kind of said, well, I'm in a band, so I'm always curious about that. And she said, well, I'll give you their contact information. I was like, no, it's okay, And she gave it to me, and I emailed the guy, and he hooked us up. So it's totally random that it happened, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I do have a lot of friends and family in the Chicago area. So anytime we can get up there to play is really exciting for me. And it's exciting for them, and I know there's going to be a lot of them there. Cubby Bear it's one of the most popular places in the city, so we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good time.
It definitely sounds like it, and I'm familiar with both those bands you guys are performing with. They are really awesome. They bring a lot of energy, and they kick ass on stage, as do you guys. So
thank you.
I do hope you guys have a great time in Chicago, but also. For you guys, I did want to talk about, since we are talking about the live show aspect, do you guys have a favorite song to perform live?
Favorite song to perform live? One of my favorite songs that we do, it's become kind of our opener. It's called Take It All. We recorded it, a long time ago at this point. It's like a 6-year-old song, but we still really like it. We're always writing new stuff, so for something to stay in the set for that long is kind of rare. So, yeah. All right, we got some ambient music.
Yeah, that is not us. One of my favorite songs to play right now is a song of ours called Dance Miss D. That was on our latest record, our latest EP, Third Street Melody. But that song, it's got some really good guitar work between James and I. There's some harmonics that we do, or some guitar harmonies. And playing that on stage is really fun. It's tight. It's a powerful riff, and that seems to come off really well. So right now, that's one of my favorites.
Oh, right on, right on. Now, you guys, when I saw you guys brought a kick-ass show, and it was my first time seeing you guys, and I really enjoyed it. You guys you got like the punk rock vibe, but also you guys got like some like old school like rock and roll.
Yeah, it's definitely a mix.
Yeah, definitely, very for sure a mix. And I was really digging it, and I know you guys are having a great time. And it really, like at the well basement, it felt like a house show to me.
Yeah,
it's definitely that vibe, especially with like orange carpeting and wood paneling.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know what to expect. We never played there before. We hadn't played in South Bend before, so we didn't know who was going to come out. It's one of those things where you're doing a road show, and we're not really a touring band. We like to play on the road, but we don't do it for a living like a lot of bands do. We do it for fun. We do it because we love it. And so when people show out, and it's like there was like 65 or 70 people in there, and it was packed. And it, like you said, it was a basement. It was essentially a house show. So we just had such a great time, and we're hoping to do it again soon. I
would love to have you guys in South Bend again, or just in general. I might travel to see you guys. We'll see how it goes.
Right on.
But also, I did want to talk about, since we are based, well, not based, but you guys are based in Indianapolis, and we're currently here at the Melody Inn. I did want to talk about real quick, what's like the music scene like in Indianapolis?
Well, we've been playing here. We've been playing since 2014, and I can honestly say that I think it was a little, I don't want to say stagnant, but between 2014 and 2020, I didn't sense a whole lot of growth. But now it just seems like ever since, hopefully we're, beyond the pandemic at this point, the crowds have been crazy. I mean, we've had, just in the last 2 or 3 years, we've had our biggest shows. And it's been pretty wild. And there's a ton of new bands. I mean, we mentioned several of them. Most of those bands are new. They're the last 2 or 3 years they've come up. And I think it's getting a lot better. And actually, our friends, the Remote Controls, they're playing with the Descendants in June here at the Old National Center, which is like, I think it's a 4,000 or 5,000 seater. So local bands are actually getting a shot to do some cool stuff. And I just think that's really great. And we weren't seeing that as much before, I don't think.
Yeah, it's definitely feels more like a community. So bands that we just talked about, you go out to see a show and you see other people from other bands just there to see these other groups, and you know them now, and they know us as well. Right. So now it's its own kind of community. Not everyone's a punk band. There's all different styles, but just this kind of independent, original music. And to Russ's point, it really does seem like it's grown, and it feels kind of like a community. It feels like a family. So you come out, whether you're playing or you're just an audience member that night, you're still recognizing people, and they recognize you, and that feels really good.
Yeah, it's not just all cover bands, which I'm cool with cover bands, but every once in a while you got to have some original music. So.
Oh, definitely. And what I've really noticed since I've been coming to Indianapolis, there we go. Since about 2021, I've really noticed, especially like 2022 and into 2023, like the scene's really thriving here.
Yeah.
From an outsider's perspective, that a bunch of great shows are coming through Indianapolis, and even just here at the Melody Inn and other places, as you said, Old National as well. And it's just really cool to see. It's really cool to see like just all the growth that from 2021 to 2023.
Yeah, I agree, and it helps. Even those major acts coming through here helps. Smaller, more regional acts like us, where it just kind of raises the level of everything. So
it definitely does. Now, I got a couple more things before we wrap up this interview. New question that you guys are the first that I'm going to ask this, so we'll see how this goes. If you could have dinner with 2 of your favorite musicians, living or deceased, who would it be?
Oh, man. I'm a huge Ramones fan, and I would love to have dinner with Dee Dee Ramone, because he was just insane, and he was a cool person, and he was super creative, and a lot of their DNA was his ideas. So I'd love to have dinner with Dee Dee Ramone, and I'm an unabashed Kiss fan, and I know it's not always popular in the rock and roll world, but I would love, and everyone would say Gene Simmons, but I would love to meet Paul Stanley, because he's just, I know he gets a lot of flack these days, and it's probably deserved, but I'd love to meet him because he meant so much to me growing up. So,
Chris, what for you?
2 musicians to have dinner with. I'm just winging it here because I could spend the next week thinking about this question. One of them I'll go with is I'll go with David Bowie.
Oh, that's a great one.
Huge fan of David Bowie. And so basically any time you ask me somebody I might want to hang out with in any capacity, that guy's on the list. So go with David Bowie. And then the other one, just winging it here, I'm going to go with Keith Richards because he's Keith Richards. And whatever age he is, whatever condition he is in, I like it would be hysterical just for that value alone. So those are the two that I'll go with.
I feel like today Keith has kind of become like he was always controversial, and then he kind of was for lack of a better term, he was a junkie. Now he's like this elder statesman of the rock and roll world. That's a good one.
Four very solid answers. And I'm glad that went well. Maybe, Chris, I'll talk to you next week. We'll see what your answers are next week.
Yeah, right.
All right. As I'm wrapping up this interview, what are the plans for the Bombcats for the rest of this year, 2023?
We've got a lot of shows coming up, which it's obviously with the last few years, we've had to kind of pick our spots with shows. Now this year, it's full steam ahead. We're going to set a record for shows this year. We've got, for the first time in a long time, we've got a full schedule, full slate of shows, and we're not recording just yet, but we've got a bunch of new songs that we're working on. I'll let Chris talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're always trying to work new material into our set. You just, even for ourselves, you play the same song long enough, you want new things, and you want to get better. So if we look at what we're playing, the songs that we have in our repertoire, we might say, all right, we've got these ones that we're really happy with, and others, they fill out the set, but we can keep evolving, keep coming up with new ideas. Now, with a full slate of gigs, it is a little bit harder to work that in. You really have to work up your material and get comfortable with it. And that's how we operate. We come up with songs, we do demos, we listen back to them and critique them, learn them, and kind of tighten it up before we're ready to go into a studio. But we definitely want to record new material, get that out there. Things have been going really well for us since our last EP, and we want to keep that momentum going.
Sounds really great. Sounds like you guys got a lot of great things in the works, plus a bunch of killer shows coming up. As you said, the most you're going to perform in a year. So I hope everything goes very well with the writing and recording music and also performing live as well.
Thank you.
And last thing before we sign off, where are the best places to find the Bombcats online?
We're on Facebook at Bombcats Music, I believe. We're on Instagram, Bombcats Band. There's a couple underscores in there, but you can figure it out once you get up there. And we actually just a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, we put out a music video for our song Dance Miss D that we shot ourselves. It's pretty fun. So go on YouTube, check that out. Just search Bombcats Dance Miss D. It'll come right up. Yeah, and we've got for the first time ever, you can buy our merch online. So if you go to our Bandcamp page, I think it's bandcamp.com/bombcatsmusic. You can order t-shirts, and if you order a shirt, we'll throw in some buttons and stickers and stuff. So check us out.
Is this shirt available?
Yes. Yeah, that shirt is available. We are running low on that.
It's a good logo. I like it.
At that show, we sold like 15 t-shirts, which for us is an enormous amount of t-shirts, right? And so we're low on those, but we've got a lot of t-shirts. We've got tons of merch available. So yeah, check us out.
I will leave some links to the Bombcats in the description of this podcast as well. Please check out and support them. See them live when you can. Guys, always a great time hanging out with you. Thank you so much for your time. And I definitely look forward to rocking out with you guys at a future show.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
For Russ and Chris of the Bombcats, I'm your host always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.